Hi there, welcome along to the first of a series of videos, which I hope will turn into live videos, of Practice Along with Dan. I've been inspired over the last few months following a number of physical trainers on Instagram who do live workouts sometimes 2-3 times a week, and it's a great way of feeling like you're involved in something without having to actually be physically in a gym, which at the moment we can't do, which you'll have to excuse the hair if you're watching this in a few years time. We're still in the middle of a lockdown in 2021, but I kind of got thinking this could actually really help with practice, and a number of my students have said the same thing to me. So today all you really need is your alto sax. I'm doing one for alto today, I'm going to do one for tenor next week. Then I hope we'll do some live ones over the next few weeks, and you know, practice along with Dan. You can bring your comments and you can ask me certain things and we'll practice together. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit a like if you are already here and you're already subscribing, and let's get started. Go and get your saxophone. Before we do though, 2 books that you might find useful, they are linked below. My 2 ebooks, Make Your Sax Sing and Nail Your Scales. Both the first 2 exercises from this practice routine are from those books. You might find, in fact you will find them useful, so maybe hit the pause button, hit the links, go over, grab those ebooks and then come back. Just to note, if you are ordering them on a tablet, particularly an iPad, it will download, but it will be in the top left-hand corner of Safari. So make sure you click there for the download link. I get a lot of people who email me going, Dan, you've taken my money and I haven't got the book. It is there, it has sent it to you. If you do have a problem though, drop me an email. But now you've got those books, or if you've already ordered them, you know how to practice along. We're going to get started with Pivot Long Tones 2. This is an original exercise of my own. It starts on low D and we go up in semitones. The idea is that the transitions between the notes should be the same at the bottom as they are at the top. Of course, it gets much harder once you get above, particularly an octave and a tenth or something else like this. So my metronome is set for 50. You should be able to hear my metronome. And we're going to do Pivot Long Tones 2. If you don't have the music and you can't be bothered spending the money on the book, why wouldn't you? But it's just basically starting on D, going up in semitones. If you're that tight, you can't bother buying the book. Here we go. So there's the metronome. So it's important when you're practicing to let the metronome count, establish where the beat is. We're not just ticking that metronome and counting in to waste seconds of our life. We need that to establish the beat. So 1, 2, and I'm making that D really good. Just going to pause there, mainly because I slow it on my reed. Now, posture. Both legs apart, back nice and straight. You must be stood up for this, okay? I'm thinking about expanding that rib cage as you breathe in. You've only got a 1 beat breath to be able to breathe in, okay? So making sure that tummy, belly needs to go out. Think about being like Pavarotti when you're taking a big long note in. Let that girth expand so you've got the note. So we're going to play now D to A. So here we go. And we go 1, 2. Woo! Tough one. Got a drink of water. Now, physically, you should feel it under your rib cage if you've been doing it properly. If you're feeling it in your chest, you're not breathing in the right place. You've got to move that over. I shouldn't have done this after a late lunch, really, should I? When we're practicing, we should be thinking about two things: good tone, good time. In fact, when we're playing, that's what our objective should be: good tone, good time. And very much on that exercise, we're working on good tone. That's why it's in the Make Your Sax Sing book. This exercise is all about good time, and so we're going to look at something quite simple: major scales, metronome at 60. And we're going to start, for most people, a good place to start is E major. So the metronome's going that. We're going to do crotchets, or quarter notes, you might know them as if you're in the States, or in fact the rest of the world. It's just here in England we have weird names to them. So we're going to start off, again, both feet firmly planted apart, and I'm going to start. Now give myself a count in, and I'm going to play the E major scale, landing each note on that click. You're going to do it with me. 1, 2, 3. Okay, nice E major scale. All slurred, these scales for now. We will work on tonguing and things later on. Today we're just trying to get those thin. Now, same scale, leave the metronome at the same speed, but we're going to play it twice the speed. We're going to play it in quavers or eighth notes. So we're thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3. Now, I'm not going to do the next exercise. This is found in the nail or scales book, where you then play it in triplets and then semi-quavers. We're going to move on to the next scale, which is A major. And A major we play up to a 12th. We play up to the top E, but we've got one less sharp. Okay, never write these down. Use the circle of fifths at most, but you should be able to know these from the keys. So, A major in crotchets, one beat notes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Same thing, now I'm going to play that in quavers. So we're thinking, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2. Okay, that's good. A major. Now D major. Okay, back to crotchets again. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Same scale, quavers. 1 and 2 and 3. Oh, that went a bit weird. I think my reed slipped. Okay, now I'm going to go to, you know why so many saxophone players have failed marriages, don't you? Because blaming it on the reed doesn't always work. Okay, now looking at triplets, okay? So we're going to say the D major scale. Now, if you've ever watched The Simpsons, the best way to think about quaver triplet, eighth note triplets, is to think of Ned Flanders. So we're going to go 3 and diddly 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 diddly. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, diddly. Okay, not going to go on to the 16th, the semiquavers this time, okay? Now we go to G major, okay? Back to crotchets. 2, 3. Now into quavers, 1 and 2 and 3. Good. Now, triplets now. So we're thinking diddly diddly diddly. Now you can do that on all the scales, but I'm just trying to keep it for the vast majority of people. Trying to do the triplets on E major and A major is probably a step too far today, but we'll work on it, and maybe in one of the live videos we will get that in to a full thing. Let's do C major now. Easier one. We're going to go straight to eighth notes though, okay? Because if you're at a more advanced standard, going straight to quarter notes is not always easy. So quavers, eighth note, C major. 1, 2, 3. I'm having fun with my reed today. It keeps moving. So that's C major in quavers, down to triplets, quaver triplets. So we're thinking and diddly diddly did. Good, well done, okay? Sure you're keeping up with this? Let's do F major, again, straight into quavers. So we're thinking 1 flat, 1, 2, 3. Honestly, you can learn so much by just doing this really simple exercise on your scales. It's so important. So many people who come to me for lessons, this is where we start, because unless you can get this right, you're never going to be able to solo well. You're never going to be able to solo well in time unless you can play basic major scales in time. Okay, let's do the F major one now in quaver triplets. So we're thinking diddly diddly diddly. 1, 2 and 3. Good stuff, okay. B flat major now, into eighth notes, okay? Starting from low B flat, 2 octaves. 1 and 2 and 8. Okay, and then we're now going to do the triplets. Here we go. Diddly diddly. Now, really important thing there. Okay, I'm sorry to stop you on it, but that B flat for me didn't sound properly, but I kept going. You can't wait for the note to sound. You have to just go for it. It's all about time, okay? Which is why I stopped to tell you that. Okay, here we go. So thinking Diddly, diddly, diddly. Okay. Now E flat major, here we go. 1, crotchets, 2, 3. Now E flat in quavers, eighth notes. Thinking 1 and 2. Quaver triplets. We try it in E flat. So we're thinking diddly diddly. Yeah, we're getting it, okay. Now, depending on what standard you are, you might then want to do A flat, D flat, F sharp, B majors. Really important to be able to get all of them. But I'm pitching today at round about a grade 4, grade 5 standard associated board. That's where I think a lot of people are at, and that's where I wanted to pitch for it today. So the next thing we're going to do are our minor triads, our minor arpeggios, and we're going to work those backwards. So we're going to start from E flat. Apologies for the breaks in the videos. Because of the way my camera works, I can only record 10 minutes at a time. So I have to kind of edit things together. So when we're doing it live, obviously it'll all be seamless. So, well, all the cock-ups in it as well. What we're looking at today, we're going to look at the E flat minor arpeggio, the E flat minor triad, because I'm going to show you a really nice lick to be able to play after this. And what we're going to do is just flatten the third note of the major scale, so the major arpeggio. So the major arpeggio for E flat will be E flat, G, B flat. So if I flatten the third, the G becomes G flat. It's G flat, it's not F sharp, it's G flat. It's the same note as F sharp, but we are classing it as G flat. So I'm going to do it in crotchets first of all. 2 octaves. 1, 2, 3, Now in quavers, so I was thinking 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, no faster than that, that's fine. Now to go back on the circle, we're going to go around in fifths now, onto B flat, okay? So B flat major arpeggio is B flat D F, flatten the third, B flat D flat F. Here we go. 2 crotchets, 3. Now that is a tricky one, because what you've got to do, you've got to roll that finger from the D flat to the B flat. Well, B flat to D flat to B flat. And notice how I roll my whole wrist, not just move the fingers. You've got to move the whole wrist. Watch that again. So D flat, B flat. Move the whole mechanism. Now in quavers. 3. Notice I didn't pitch the B flat the first time round. My error. Okay, but I kept going in time. Okay, now let's move from B flat to F minor. F, A flat, C. Here we go. And we'll do this straight away into eighth notes, into quavers. 3, 2, 3. Another little tidbit there. Don't try and play the top from C to top F with the spoon keys. C there, front F. Okay, can you see that on your saxophone? On some older saxophones it's a pearl key, but on modern saxophones it's specially shaped. So I'm going C to F like that. So there's F, A flat, C, top F, okay? I'm going to play that in triplets again now. Diddly, diddly. F didn't pitch then, so I just need to make sure I keep my embouchure back, a bit more air pressure from the diaphragm. On the 2 and that came out singingly, didn't it? Okay, next on C minor, okay? Straight into quavers, C, E flat, G. So 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, now triplets. The diddly diddly. Again, that low C didn't kind of come out right, but you keep going, you get it in time. G minor is a 12th, okay, which means we play the arpeggio up to the top D, but following the associated board lead here, we play the top D twice, okay? So we play G, B flat, D, G, B flat, D, D, and then come down again. You'll hear it as I play it. So I'm going to play it in eighth notes, quavers. 3, Let's run that together. So ready? 1 and 2, 3, Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause there. Obviously you could carry on going round, but this is why it takes hours sometimes to practice. What we're going to do now is we're going to turn that G minor arpeggio into a Crimea River lick on G minor. I'm going to show you how you do that. So what we're going to do, we're going to ignore that 12th bit this time. We're just going to play it up 1 octave. So here we go. So just 1 octave of the G minor arpeggio slurred. 1 and 2 and 3. And then just play it descending. Huh. Sorry, I should carry in correctly there. So here we go. 1 and 2, just down. 3 and Now what I need to do is, in order to turn that into the Crimea River lick, I just add an A at the start and at the end. I add the 9th and the 2nd to that triad. So the 9th being A, G, D, B flat, A, G. And you can see there's a vlog here. If there's a course on Autumn Leaves, there's a course on that lick. But that lick there. Recognise it from Careless Whisper? It's called Crimea River lick because it's the opening melody to Now You Say You Love Me. This is the opening lyric to Crimea River, the old standard. So let's just pop that very quickly onto D minor. Okay, so here's my D minor triad. So following that rule, we take it to 1 octave. And then descending. And then I add the E in. Okay? So that's how you apply that Crimea River lick. Let's do it one more time together. Let's take it on to A minor. So let's play metronome on in quavers, the A minor triad, just 1 octave, 2 and 3. Okay, A, C, E, A. Now what I need to do is play that descending. 1 and 2, 3. Now what I need to do is add the 9th, which is the B. So I'm going to play B, A, E, C, B, A. 2 and 3. And that's a great way of getting that lick. Now that lick is really useful. Not only is it useful over minor chords, it's really useful. There's a great lick you can play over a minor 2-5. It's great for the melody. It's great for Careless Whisper. You can start to see why it's so important. Another lick which is really good to do, and we're going to play this with a backing, is to practice this one. that is like lick 101 in jazz world, okay? It's a C minor 7th chord, and then you descend a semitone, and return to the root of the dominant chord. This is C minor 7 to F7, okay? So what we need to do, we're going to play that twice, and then we're going to transpose it down to semitone. This might be a place where you might need to pause and figure out what the hell I'm doing, but I wanted to throw something in there that's a little bit more advanced. So I'm going to play this lick number 1, and I'm going to transpose it into different keys. You could go through it again if you wanted to. You know, this is really important. Practice is a lot about running drills. It's about running things to get your fingers under it. Now notice how much practice time has elapsed before I'm even touching a piece. Now I'm going to finish my practice with a piece, and it's important to play at the end. The piece I'm going to play is the theme from the Pink Panther from the Grade 5 the Grade 5 Associated Board Arrangements. So if you have that book, you can practice along with me. If you don't, maybe pause, go and practice something yourself. The important things to remember: tone and time. There were a few mistakes in that. If you can see, my actual thing has come loose, my mouthpiece, my tooth guard, whatever you call it, these things, needs to come off. I need to replace that. But it's important not to let that get in the way of your practice, much as you can help it. So I hope you found that useful. Please do let me know in the comments box below what you'd like me to do in some of these practice sessions when I start doing them live. What topics would you like to cover? What have I not covered in there that you think I should be covering? And what elements of practice do you struggle with? Email interruptions are one big problem for me. I like to practice without it, but if I'm going to record everything in here, I can't do that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, click a like, and check back next week if you're a tenor player, and I'll be going through all the stuff on tenor. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon.